There will be days where your mind whispers, "Why even try? Pain is not the enemy." It may feel like it is. It may scream at you in the silence, sting you in the dark, and wear you down in the middle of a day that already feels too long. But pain is not out to destroy you. Pain is the alarm clock of growth. It's the wake-up call for who you are meant to become. And no, it doesn't knock politely. It shakes you. It breaks the patterns. It demands attention. Most people run from it. They numb it, silence it, avoid it at all costs. But the ones who understand its power, the ones who learn to stand in it, are the ones who rise above the rest. You see, comfort feels good, but it rarely creates anything powerful. Growth isn't born in ease. Strength isn't built in softness. If you're always safe, always warm, always okay, then you're never truly tested. And if you're never tested, how can you ever know what you're really capable of? Pain introduces you to the truth of what matters, the truth of what you're holding on to, the truth of what you're willing to fight for. Without pain, you wouldn't know you had more to give. Without discomfort, you'd settle for being less than you could be. The world tells you pain is something to be avoided, but if you avoid all pain, you avoid all progress. If you dodge every discomfort, you delay your transformation. The muscle doesn't grow without resistance. The mind doesn't sharpen without stress, and the heart doesn't expand without being broken open. Pain invites you to evolve. It invites you to get honest with yourself, with your dreams, with your decisions. It strips away your excuses. It corners your fears. It calls out your potential and says, "You're not finished yet." Every powerful person you admire has walked through fire. Every strong voice you hear has spoken from scars. They didn't become who they are in spite of pain. They became who they are because of it. Pain shaped them, molded them, gave them clarity, conviction, direction. They learned not to hate pain, but to harness it, to use it as fuel, to let it refine them instead of define them. That's a choice you can make too. Pain doesn't have to be punishment. It can be preparation. It can be the push that finally moves you from waiting to working, from hoping to acting, from fearing to fighting. What if you stopped asking, "Why is this happening to me?" and started asking, "What is this building in me?" What if you stopped seeing pain as the end and started seeing it as the beginning of a new mindset, the beginning of real discipline, the beginning of a deeper level of strength, one that doesn't disappear when things get tough. The kind of strength that bends but doesn't break, that cries but doesn't quit, that feels deeply but keeps moving anyway. The moment you stop fighting pain is the moment you start freeing yourself, not because it doesn't hurt, but because you know who it's helping you become. You stop saying, "This shouldn't be happening," and start saying, "This is my training ground." You stop waiting for it to end and start working while it lasts. You begin to understand that pain is not a curse. It's a signal, a sign that you are in motion, in process, in pursuit of something that matters. Yes, it's uncomfortable. Yes, it's hard, but so is anything that's worth it. So is anything that's lasting. Pain will come whether you chase your dreams or stay stuck. But only one of those paths gives it meaning. Only one of those paths turns pain into power. So don't resist it. Don't wish it away. Walk with it. Learn from it. Let it show you what still needs healing, what still needs work, and what still needs your full, undivided attention. You don't need to love pain. You just need to stop running from it. You don't need to pretend it doesn't hurt. You just need to remember that it won't last forever, and neither will your excuses. The pain you feel now is a down payment on the strength you will carry tomorrow. And that strength, that version of you on the other side of this, that's the reason pain isn't the enemy. That's the reason pain has a purpose. That's the reason you keep going. Discipline is choosing growth over comfort. It's waking up early when your body craves sleep. It's doing what's necessary even when it's inconvenient, unpopular, or exhausting. Discipline isn't about punishment or perfection. It's about choosing the version of yourself you know you're capable of becoming over the easy version that wants to stay exactly the same. Comfort keeps you still. Discipline moves you forward, and in that tension between who you are and who you want to be, discipline is the bridge. Growth never feels like a warm blanket. It doesn't come in soft whispers. It comes in hard choices, long days, silent battles, and invisible victories. Most people don't grow because they're too in love with comfort. They want change without sacrifice. They want results without effort. They want success without struggle, but you cannot have both. You cannot chase greatness and cling to comfort at the same time. One must be surrendered, and discipline is the daily decision to surrender comfort for something greater. It's not glamorous. Discipline happens behind closed doors, no applause, no camera, just you and your willpower. It's saying no when everyone else says yes. It's showing up when no one else is watching. It's doing the right thing even when no one notices. It's resisting distractions, fighting temptations, and silencing the part of you that wants to take the easy way out. Comfort will always be louder in the moment, but discipline carries a quiet authority that lasts long after the moment has passed. There's a part of you that wants to remain the same. It wants the path of least resistance. It whispers that you've done enough. It says, relax, you deserve it. But discipline answers back, not yet. Keep going, you're not done. And that voice, the one that pushes you, that holds you accountable, that challenges you, is the one that leads you toward everything you say you want. Growth requires discomfort, and discomfort requires discipline. There is no way around it. Discipline doesn't mean you're always motivated. It means you're committed. You don't rely on how you feel, you rely on your purpose. There are days where you won't feel like doing the work. Do it anyway. There are days where no one will believe in your vision. Show up anyway. Discipline is doing what needs to be done, regardless of how loudly your comfort zone begs you to stop. And every time you do, you prove to yourself that you are stronger than your excuses. The difference between where you are and where you want to be is not some secret formula or hidden talent. It's consistency. And consistency lies in discipline. Talent might open the door, but discipline keeps you in the room. Dreams may spark the fire, but discipline keeps it burning. Comfort wants to cool the flame. It wants you to slow down, step back, stay small. But growth lives in the fire, in the heat, in the friction. You have to stay there long enough to change. Every time you choose discipline, you rewire your brain for resilience. You train your body to follow your mind, not the other way around. You build trust with yourself. You prove that your future matters more than your feelings, and that trust becomes your foundation. You stop negotiating with yourself. You stop giving yourself an out. You start living like the person you say you want to be, not just when it's easy, but especially when it's hard. There's a cost to growth. You have to let go of habits that numb you, routines that stall you, mindsets that shrink you. You have to disappoint your comfort to honor your potential, and that's what discipline does. It chooses the hard thing now so you can have the powerful thing later. It chooses 5 more reps, 10 more minutes, 1 more step. It's not massive leaps. It's small, relentless choices, day after day, moment after moment, and over time, those small choices stack. They reshape your mind, they sharpen your edge, they deepen your grit. They make you someone who does not need to be pushed, because you've learned how to pull yourself forward. You don't just talk about the life you want. You work for it, grind for it, bleed for it if you have to. Because comfort never built warriors. Comfort never shaped champions. Comfort never fulfilled potential. But discipline builds legacies. Your emotions don't decide your destiny. They may try to. They may shout louder than reason, pull harder than logic, and push you toward reactions that don't align with your purpose. But they are not in control unless you hand them the keys. Emotions are part of the journey, but they're not meant to drive. They're signals, not steering wheels, and if you live by them, you will ride the waves of impulse instead of walking the path of intention. There are days when emotions are heavy. Fear whispers that you're not enough. Doubt questions every step. Anger makes you want to burn it all down, and sadness convinces you nothing matters anyway. These emotions feel real, because they are, but they are not permanent. They are not fact. They are not the full truth. You can feel afraid and still move forward. You can feel angry and still choose peace. You can feel broken and still rise. Emotions are experiences. Destiny is direction. One comes and goes. The other is built with every choice you make. You are not weak for feeling. You are human. But strength is not about never feeling. It's about feeling deeply and still staying committed. Your future doesn't belong to how you feel for one day. It belongs to what you decide every day, and some days that means showing up when your emotions beg you to hide. Some days it means working when your mood says rest. Some days it means choosing clarity over chaos, truth over reaction, action over impulse. That's how you lead yourself through the storm. The most dangerous thing about emotions is not that they exist, it's that they can lie. Fear can make you forget how strong you are. Shame can convince you that one failure defines you. Anxiety can convince you that something terrible is coming, even when everything is fine. Emotions aren't always based on truth. They are often based on habit, memory, and perception. So if you let them decide your actions, you'll build a life based on a lie, and that is a high price to pay for a moment of emotional release. The most powerful people aren't the ones who don't feel. They're the ones who feel and still choose wisely. Emotional control isn't repression. It's redirection. It's taking that fear and turning it into focus, taking that anger and turning it into fuel, taking that sadness and letting it make you more compassionate, more present, more resilient. Let your emotions inform you, not control you. Let them teach you something, but don't let them tell you who you are. You are not your worst day. You are not your most anxious thought. You are not the panic that hits at 2 a.m. or the rage that comes after being pushed too far. You are not the voice in your head that says it's too late. You are the one who chooses what comes next. You are the one who decides whether you listen or lead. You are the one who can pause, breathe, refocus, and act from purpose, not emotion. Emotional strength is forged in moments of pause, in the split second when you want to react, and you choose to reflect, when you want to shout, but you choose to speak with clarity, when you want to quit, but you choose to keep going. That's where power lives, not in always feeling right, but in choosing what's right regardless of how you feel. You don't owe your emotions your obedience. You owe yourself your future. Every time you act on purpose instead of impulse, you build emotional discipline. And that discipline becomes armor, not the kind that hardens you, but the kind that protects your peace, your vision, your identity. You learn to ride the emotional wave instead of drowning in it. You learn to hear the chaos without letting it make your choices. You learn that discomfort doesn't mean disaster, and slowly, decision by decision, you begin to live above your emotions, not beneath them. Destiny is shaped by decisions, not feelings. Anyone can make a decision when they feel strong, confident, and inspired. But growth is born in the opposite moments, the ones where everything inside you says, stop, and you still whisper, go. The ones where fear clutches your throat, but you speak your truth anyway. The ones where doubt clouds your mind, but you take the step anyway. That is what creates destiny, emotional maturity, not emotional chaos, and that is within your control every single day. No one is coming to save you. It's a hard truth, but one that sets you free the moment you accept it. Waiting for someone to rescue you, to hand you the perfect opportunity, to fix what's broken, is the fastest way to stay stuck. No mentor, no relationship, no miracle moment is going to swoop down and change your life. That's your job. That's your responsibility. That's your power. You are the hero of your story, or you are the victim of it. And that choice is made in the quiet decisions you make when no one else is around. It's tempting to wait, to believe someone else will figure it out, open the door, make the call, or tell you what to do next. But that kind of waiting turns into years, into regret, into wishing you'd moved sooner, trusted yourself more, stopped giving your power away. The life you want isn't built on hope alone. It's built on action, on courage, on doing the work when it's hard, when you're tired, when you're scared, when no one's clapping. Especially then, you've got what it takes, but no one's going to force it out of you. No one's going to push you harder than you're willing to push yourself. You want change, then it starts with ownership. Owning your choices, your mindset, your habits, your story. You can't control everything that happens to you, but you can control how you rise from it. You can decide whether you let it define you or drive you, whether you collapse or climb, and that decision is one only you can make. People will support you, encourage you, even walk beside you for a while. But eventually, it's your own 2 feet that carry you forward. No one else can walk your path. No one else knows what it costs you to keep going. and no one else is responsible for your peace, your success, or your healing. That's on you, and while that may sound overwhelming, it's also the most empowering truth you'll ever embrace. You are capable of more than you think, but capability doesn't show up without challenge. You have to stop waiting for the pain to go away before you start. You have to stop hoping that someone will hand you a better mindset. Mindsets are forged, strength is earned, clarity comes through motion, not meditation. Action is what creates the shift. And that action starts with you doing the next hard thing, the next right thing, even when it feels impossible. The sooner you realize no one is coming to save you, the sooner you become dangerous to everything that's been trying to hold you back. You stop looking for permission. You stop begging for validation. You stop hoping someone else sees your value. You already know your value. You just haven't demanded it from yourself yet. The life you want isn't built by waiting for it. It's built by deciding you're worthy of it, and then proving it every single day through effort, not excuses. It's not easy. Responsibility never is, but it's honest, and it's the only way forward. You don't need to be rescued. You need to rise. You don't need a savior. You need a strategy. You don't need more time. You need to use what you already have with more intention, more fire, more belief. You already have the spark. You just need to stop putting it out with doubt, fear, and delay. No one is coming to do the reps for you. No one is coming to silence the inner critic. No one is coming to clean up your discipline, your routine, your self-talk. That's your work. That's your power. That's your freedom. Because once you stop expecting someone else to carry the load, you start to build the strength to carry yourself. You become resilient, independent, focused. You become the kind of person that no longer hopes things get better. You make them better. You have always had the ability to change your life. The challenge is that it starts with you, and that's also the answer. It's you. It's been you. It will always be you. So stop waiting. Stop stalling. Stop shrinking. No one is coming. Now rise and become the person who saves themselves. The path won't get easier. That's not how growth works. The challenges don't disappear just because you've had enough. The obstacles don't move aside simply because you're tired. Life doesn't adjust its difficulty to match your willingness. The path is what it is. Tough, unpredictable, and often unfair. But that's the point. The path doesn't get easier. You get stronger. You don't move forward because it's suddenly simple. You move forward because you've changed, because you've sharpened your mind, hardened your will, and deepened your grit. Every time you hope for the struggle to ease up, you're missing the real lesson. You weren't meant to wait for things to lighten up. You were meant to become heavy. Duty. You were meant to carry more, endure more. Rise faster, speak clearer, think sharper. If the path stayed easy, there would be no transformation. You'd stay soft, you'd stay stagnant, you'd stay someone who never learned what they were made of. The struggle introduces you to that version of yourself, the one buried under hesitation, fear, and comfort, the one who only shows up when tested. It's a dangerous mindset to think that success should be smooth or that purpose should come without pressure. Nothing meaningful is ever handed over without cost. There's a price for progress. The ones who succeed aren't the ones who found the easiest way through. They're the ones who kept going anyway. The ones who walked through fire and didn't flinch. The ones who failed and didn't fold. The ones who cried and still showed up. They weren't looking for an easy road. They were becoming the kind of person who could walk any road. You get stronger with every hard day you survive. Every disappointment you rise from, every plan that falls apart and forces you to rebuild. You grow every time you refuse to back down just because it got uncomfortable, and that's what the path is asking from you. Not perfection, but persistence. Not ease, but endurance. If you can hang on when it hurts, if you can keep moving when the rewards are nowhere in sight, then you are already winning. The reward is not just in the destination. It's in who you become along the way. People look at successful lives and think those people had fewer problems, but it's not that. They just stopped expecting fewer problems. They stopped hoping for easy and started preparing for the hard. They made peace with the fact that if something is worth it, it will demand everything from them, and they gave it, fully, without holding back. They didn't whine about the path, they walked it. They didn't wait for conditions to change. They changed themselves in the process. Your job isn't to find an easier path. Your job is to build a stronger you, mentally, emotionally, spiritually, physically. You need to train yourself to respond to resistance with resilience, to meet difficulty with discipline, to take every detour, every delay, every setback, and still say, I'm not done. Because you're not. The path might not be getting easier, but that doesn't mean you're not making progress. It just means you're now qualified to face bigger challenges, solve more complex problems, carry heavier responsibilities. That's not punishment, that's growth. You'll have days where it all feels like too much. That's normal, let those days come, but don't let them break you. Feel it, then rise, sit with the weight, then stand back up, because this path was never supposed to be smooth, it was supposed to shape you. Mold you, test your commitment to what you say you want, and if you keep choosing it even when it hurts, that's how you know it's real, that's how you know you're on the right path, not the easy one, the right one. You've already overcome so much, and yet you're still here, still standing, still pushing. That alone proves you don't need an easier road. You need to remember who you are. You need to look at the path, no matter how steep, and say, I'm ready. Not because the path has changed, but because you've evolved. You've endured, and now it's time to walk forward. Not waiting for the struggle to disappear, but knowing you're built to outlast it. What you do in discomfort defines who you are becoming. It's not the easy days that shape you. It's not when everything is smooth, predictable, and painless that your character is revealed. It's in the chaos. It's in the pressure. It's in the tension between where you are and where you want to be that the real work is done. Discomfort is the furnace. It burns away the excess. It confronts your excuses. It demands your attention. And how you respond in those moments is the blueprint of your future. Anyone can be calm when life is calm. Anyone can be confident when everything is going their way, but what happens when the pressure rises? When your plans fall apart, when your expectations meet resistance, that's the test. That's when your habits, your mindset, your inner voice all come forward to either carry you through or collapse beneath you. Discomfort doesn't break you, it reveals you. It introduces you to the part of yourself you haven't met yet, the part that must be forged in the fire of challenge and uncertainty. Growth is not made in the space of comfort. It's made in repetition, resistance, and recovery. It's made in the moments you feel like quitting but don't. In the seconds where fear tells you to pull back and you lean in instead. In the silence where no one is watching and you still choose to do the hard thing. That's where strength lies, in the quiet, uncomfortable decisions that nobody claps for, but that change everything over time. Discomfort is not something to run from. It's something to lean into. It's not there to hurt you. It's there to prepare you, to stretch your capacity, to teach you how to show up when nothing is ideal. When the timing is off, the motivation is gone, the support is lacking. That's when it counts the most. That's when identity is not talked about but built, and every time you choose to rise in discomfort, you are silently telling the world who you are becoming. Focused, resilient, relentless. The world won't hand you peace, confidence, or purpose. Those things are carved out through discipline, sacrifice, and courage, and all of that happens in discomfort. You get better at what you practice. So if you only practice ease, you'll only perform well in ease. But if you practice rising under pressure, staying grounded in stress, moving forward in fear, then you become unstoppable in the very places others crumble. The future you want isn't built in comfort. It's built in decision, the decision to act when you're uncertain, to continue when you're exhausted, to believe when the results haven't arrived yet, and every one of those decisions is uncomfortable. But that's the process, that's the grind, that's the proving ground for the person you say you want to be. You don't become strong by skipping the hard parts. You become strong by facing them, standing in them, and pushing through them even when your emotions beg you to retreat. Discomfort can be your enemy or your ally. If you see it as the end, it defeats you. But if you see it as the beginning, it develops you. Every hard rep you push through at the gym, every tough conversation you don't run from, every early morning you don't snooze, all of it adds up. It shapes your mental toughness, your emotional depth, your personal discipline. You can't shortcut that. You can't fake that. You have to earn it, and the currency is discomfort. The most powerful version of you is not waiting at the top of the mountain. It's being formed with every uphill step you take. Especially the ones where your legs shake, your breath shortens, your mind doubts. That's where it happens. That's where you transform from someone who just wants the outcome to someone who deserves it. Not because it was given to you, but because you became someone strong enough to claim it. So pay attention to how you respond in the discomfort. That's your training. That's your preparation. That's your true identity in motion. The more intentional you are in the pain, the more unstoppable you become in the purpose. Discomfort doesn't define your limits. It defines your evolution. What you do in those hard, messy, stretching moments, that's who you are becoming. Choose wisely, choose fully, choose forward.